Okay, this is Ringwalk Media in association with Bartley Cutter Racing and Redline Specialist Cars. We're very blessed this morning. We're in Riyadh. We've got a new look STEFFY Bull. How are you, mate?
This is my first ever interview with my glasses on. What do you think?
You can actually see me now, can't you?
No, they're just readers. They're just a quid. But I can't read my phone anymore.
So you were doing fine until you told me they were a quid. Because you earned a few quid on that last fight.
Well, may as well. But yeah, from Poundland, so. But they do.
Other good retailers available. Well, listen, we're in Riyadh. We've got a few things to talk about, but let's take the clock back just to start with. Terri Harper, champion of the world 3 times.
Great achievement by young Terri. And not only that, in doing so, she beat reigning champions, never a vacant title. So, brilliant performance. It seemed everyone except our camp seemed to have wrote Terri off. I think people forget that she's only 27 years young, all the experience in the world. And I think we took the gamble, rolled the dice going up the weights when she were never them weights. Obviously, she's when you really do look into it, Terri's been fighting girls a stone or two heavier than her, and when she's just made 135 pounds with no problem at all, just pure hard work and dedication. So I'm so pleased for Terri. She needed it because a lot of people had lost faith in Terri. She'd started receiving a lot of doubt and things, and I think she was questioning herself. So I think she needed that more for herself, for her own mental state, to be honest. But yeah, fantastic performance, boxed great, boxed to orders, and a freeweight world champion.
It's not bad, that, is it?
No, it's some achievement. Like when you break it down and you're thinking 2017, I sent her a text message. She'd not been boxing for like 4 or 5 years, not been boxing since she was a kid. Would she be interested in boxing? And big things are happening in female boxing, and it's crazy. It's been like the roller coaster ride that we've had, defeats, victories, big nights, devastating nights, injuries. There's nothing that Terri hasn't experienced now, and she's a fully fledged professional. She's understands now the game. She understands the business side of it. She's a fully fledged professional with a lot of experience now.
Well, I think that week we interviewed Terri on that press conference day, and I've never seen her so happy. She looked absolutely on point. She looked happy in herself. And I kind of walked away from there because I know both girls very well. And I walked away from there not knowing really who would win that fight, whereas maybe I'd sided with Rianna from the youth before. But Terri's younger. And you don't realise that, do you? But it was just so nice to see her happy.
Yeah. Do you know what? When we had the draw with Cecilia Breakers, which I don't believe whatever a draw, by the way, but I asked and on a number of occasions and really pushed, can we go back down to 135? Understanding Katie's titles have become vacant. She just won undisputed at the weight above. So we wanted to carry on then at 135, which was over 12 months ago. You would not believe, since Terri stopped all this strength work, you would not believe the amount of food that she was having to eat and drink just to get over 147 to get into that bracket. Honestly, it's like when you look at her now, it's like she'll have been training with a rucksack on her back and with a weight. And it's people think they're excuses and things, but it ain't. We rolled the dice. We went up the division to become a 2-weight world champion. That's what she achieved. And then, we roll the dice with Sandy, and on the night they're just too big for her. I mean, they'll have been well over a stone.
Look at that rascal skirt. Look at this rascal skirt. Shirt.
Ready, Saudi tonight?
I tell you what, you got the badge in though, mate. Don't worry about the Eddie Hearn rascal shirt.
About the Stone Island, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, roll the dice at them other weights, and then all along she has been a 135-pound fighter, and I just think it's sad really, because on back of what happened with Sandy, at end of the third, she went out, Terri, and she absolutely tried her socks off, and she come back at end of third round, and it were hard because she was taking a lot of fists. And it's my job to look after my fighters. Remember the show before? I had Conor Coggle, God bless his soul, that can no longer fight because of a bleed on his brain. Boxing's brutal. And at the end of that third round, I sat when Terri come back and she couldn't do no more. There were no chance of winning that fight. There were no sign of victory whatsoever. And I said to her at the end of the third round, I said, Terri, if you don't show me something in this fourth round, I'm pulling the fight. And she went out again, and it was even an harder round, and it was hard for me. So when she come back, she knew what I was doing. And she come back with her head down and things, and people call her a quitter, and she ain't a quitter. That girl will fight an heart out. Let's remember in the pandemic, when she fought with one arm, snapped, not a broken hand, we're talking a snapped hand in round 3, and carried all the way on to round 9, where she got a victory with one hand. That girl's got a lot of metal in her, bless her. And it wasn't nice that people were calling her a quitter, and you've got to understand the circumstances. It was my job to look after that young lady, and that's what I did. But look now, the how she's bounced back, proved everyone wrong, a lot of doubters, and I'm happy for her because she's done that. I'm only there supporting her and his team around her, only supporter. She's had to get up from that adversity and pull it round, and she has. And she's now sat back on top of a tree and legacy, 3-weight world champion. I don't think it'll be a long time before Terri realizes what she's achieved and what other people will, the realization, because not many will do that. You're talking 3 weight categories and beat reigning champions. It's some feat in it, and I'm proud of her.
I don't think she's finished here, quite frankly. I think she's going to carry on.
Yeah. It's like we talk. Is it like she's only at the start of her career? Terri didn't have no senior contest, so she's learnt on the job. And it was saying with Rianna when she had a good run of form, having a couple of good wins. She's come from the white collar. She's still got a lot to learn, and she'll bounce back. Don't be, fighters. I've got a pattern for it with working with fighters who have defeat and then coming back. Jason Cunningham, look at he's a fine example. Josh Wells a fine example. Max Hughes a fine example. When fighters have a defeat, it's not the end. It's you come back and win. So hopefully Rianna comes back, pulls the socks up, gets back on the horse and carries on because she could be a good fighter.
Well, listen, talking of Rhiannons, you've got one yourself. Rianna deforo, I believe. She fights over in Mexico quite a bit. She's a superstar in awakening, mate.
Yes, exceptional talent. Really proud to be working with Rianna. She's a lovely person, but she's so talented. And it's same again, like people will be thinking I'm a little bit mad because I'm doing something unconventional and taking what people might think's a minor over to Mexico. But this girl is a superstar in the making. Really is. She ticks all the boxes. She can really fight. She's strong. She's polite. She's pretty. She can talk. She's got everything, all the ingredients to be sat at the top and be a superstar. And probably I go as far as saying, and people will think I'm mad, but she could be an all-time great in female boxing. She's that good, that dedicated, that disciplined, and I think she's the real deal.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that journey, and hopefully she gets out on one of the big platforms soon, and we can all get to see what you've been talking about, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like she's 17 at the end of the year, so it's almost just a year to wait before she can turn professional in the UK. By then, she'll probably be 4 or 5 professional fights in what she's having over in Mexico. We're blessed to have some support by the Mexican people. Rianna fights on DAZN, so she's on a great platform and she's destined for greatness.
So, talking of destined for greatness, we have Ms. Raven Chapman about to weigh in, and she's got the fight of her life that she's been training for all of her life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I spoke yesterday. It's a fantastic fight. It's a contrast of 2 styles. Raven's the what shall we call it? The bull, the matador. You've got Sky, who's an excellent boxer, does everything long, check hooks, punch picking. It's got the makings, and it could gel into a fantastic fight. It's been a great week. Raven's really, really soaking it all up, and I think she's ready for this, and I think we're here to do the business.
I think she's been ready for a very long time, but she's going to have to be ready because, one of the things that Sky does have an advantage on is the amateur background. She's about 180 fights, so she's got that little bit of sort of experience there. But when you're in that ring and you know, people who haven't been to Saudi Arabia don't know what it's like here. It's a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not clever, if you're not switched on, you'll forget all that experience. And you know, I've seen it. A couple of boxers have let it get to them.
Yeah, 100%. This is the on this stage, being able to handle it is a big thing. And this, I would go as far as saying, in boxing, it's like the greatest show on earth. Phenomenal, the production. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to start singing.
Go on, sing.
I'll sing it as a Liam Gallagher. And it's a fantastic platform, and some people will crumble on this because it is that big. I don't even think they realise when you're stuck here. I realise how big it is. It's the excitement. It's getting it home and everything else. But like Raven's got all the experience. She's been fighting on TV since her second professional fight. She were a top GB amateur. Like she's not phased here at all. And pro boxing is totally different to amateur boxing. Raven's done well as an amateur with a pro style, and hence why people are intrigued in this fight. Raven's a very good body puncher. She finishes to head. She's very aggressive. It's how it can sky keep her off. It's exciting. It's an exciting fight, and people are genuinely interested. Even neutrals at home have been messaging me, asking me what time she's fighting. So it's exciting.
And she's making history here. You know, first female fight.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, Raven's got a lot of passion about leading the way, and we had other offers on the table when Raven first turned professional for which promotional outfit to go with. And when she had the opportunities, Frank, we kicked the door down because she was leading the way, opening the door for other girls, which it has done now. And it's same here. Hopefully, other girls. Hopefully this fight is a good fight, and they have many more female fights moving forward. And these girls have paved the way, so it's a proud moment for them as fighters, Sky and Raven.
I can't wait for this one. And you know, we've followed Raven's career a little bit. We know Sky very well, and I'm just so pleased for the both of them that they actually finally get to meet, because these are the fights that we've all been asking for, and they aren't getting made unless Riyadh Season gets involved.
I would go as far as saying this fight is better than any of them two versus Serrano, for the fact that although Serrano's pound for pound number one and been great over the years, this is two girls undefeated, two girls in the prime, and two of the best outside Serrano. It's a great fight, and I want it here. I want it to be tomorrow. I want to be in that venue ready for it.
It's not far away, mate. I'll tell you what's not far away either is your man Jimmy Joe. He's got the rematch against Campbell Hatton in Manchester at the new Co-op Live Arena. That's going to be a good night.
Do you know what? Them two boys put that much. Their first fight was a phenomenal fight. Wanted two fighters, very similar level. Put all the hearts out in that fight, and Campbell put in, stuck in there when it got hard late on. Fantastic fight, and I'm really excited for that. Jimmy's really up for it. I think he's a bit peeved that the bookies have got him as an underdog. This time he's going to Manchester. It's not in Sheffield, so he's seen it against. And something that not many know, but Jimmy's an avid Man United fan. He's going there with pride, carrying his Man United badge, and he's really looking forward to that rematch. And it's a great fight.
City versus Man United on the night in Manchester.
That's how he's looking at it. So it's his big occasion, but you know, he's done 300 or 400 tickets again. He's got great support, but that fight was that good. You can only want to watch that fight again.
Now listen, where's my mate, the Commonwealth champion, Conor Kelsall? Because he had a fight ordered, I believe. But what's happening with that?
They're all ducking him, aren't they? He's that much of a good mover and a good dancer. But look, he's the Michael Jackson in the flyweight division. But yeah, I mean, it had been ordered. British Commonwealth European title fight versus Jay Harris, who's an exceptional fighter. Big step up for Kelsall. I'm emailing every other week, finding out what's happening, and no idea. But hopefully I can pin somebody down this weekend from the Boxing Board of Control and see if we can chase this up, because this kind has been going on since June or July when Conor won his title, and we're talking fighters' careers are getting held up now. And It's a great fight. Jay Harris has on his social media not got any fights, and nobody's mentioning this fight. It's a British Commonwealth European title fight. There's only one title bigger than this, and this is a world title. So I can't understand why this fight ain't happening, or we've got no date for it. But yeah, I mean, Conor's in a great position, so young, full of beans. He's coming on so fast, and that is a fight that we assume that we've got, but it don't seem that way at the minute.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that he gets it over the line, because he's grafted, that lad, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, took that opportunity, went in away corner, jumped at it, first TV fight. Great talent. We just want to push on and move on, but we're just waiting for a date.
So listen, what's next for the girls? Because obviously, you know, we've got one world champion currently. Oh, here we go again, look. Do you know what? I can't get Eddie on an interview, and the second I do one with someone else, he won't fuck off, will he? Yeah, obviously, you know, we've got one world champion, we've got one pending world champion. What's next for both of them?
I don't like Terry's gone on holiday, so when I get back, we'll sit down and look at. There's a lot of see what the options are. But same again, that was Terry's first fight. Ideally, I'd love her to have a voluntary defence. She deserves one, and then push on unifications, super fights. I mean, like, it's going to be interesting to. You've got Katie and Serrano happening at these lower weights. She deserves a super fight. She deserves an opportunity, a genuine freeweight world champion. She deserves an opportunity, a big payday, and changing her life on a big payday. So we'll discuss that when we get home. I think Raven's all focused on this weekend. Got no ideas. Last thing is thinking about anything else. So yeah, just focus on this weekend and let's see what the future holds.
You know, I'm going to ask about the Serrano fight for Raven, because they went for a cheeky Nando's, if you remember, and I know because I was there. And she's always said, I will fight Raven Chapman one day. Do you think that'll ever happen?
Well, it'd be very interesting. Me personally, I think when now Serrano's going up all these weights, it will be hard for her to come back down. So it's going to be very interesting. But same Serrano, she's got a massive fight with Katie. If it all fails with Katie, then obviously she's got the belts below. That's probably what she'll try and do moving forward. But just imagine if she won the first fight was a ferocious, fantastic fight. If she were to pull that win off, then obviously she's going to be. It's just super fight. So, and Raven's a featherweight. So you never say never in this game. But I mean, we'll let it all unfold and see what happens.
Listen, this is the important question. Did you get Oasis tickets?
You did, because you've got a smile on your face, I think, and I didn't know. But listen, there's plenty of time, and next year there's that much happening with boxing. When it comes down to it, I'll get them.
You reckon?
Yeah, money talks.
I told you it was going to happen as well, and you told me.
No chance. I said to you, no chance. I've been showing all my friends. You've been telling me since June. Yeah, and I'm like, no fucking way, not having that. And look, you're right. You can get me fist bumping on that anyway. That was brilliant.
Well, listen, we wish Raven well this weekend. Can't wait for this fight. It's going to be a great fight, and of course, let's hope that the other boys get out and do their thing. Obviously, Billy Joe's out there with Campbell a couple of weeks, and hope that Conor gets his fight, because he deserves it, mate.
He certainly does. So we'll see.
Very nice to speak to you, and thank you so much for your time as always.
Not a problem.